Last night, the season premiere of It, Welcome to Derry, premiered on HBO Max. Today, I'm going to give you my review and thoughts on the episode and why a lot of people are in Twitter and all the social media saying it is a great season opener. I'm going to tell you why I was a little disappointed and kind of underwhelmed by the episode. Before I dive into that, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell so you never miss another video. And with that said, Welcome to Derry is a show I was very much looking forward to. I adore both of the It movies. Yes, It Chapter 2 included. I love those characters, and I just love the journey we're with them. In fact, I recently showed my brother the first It for the first time a couple weeks ago, and this week we are watching It Chapter 2, and I just fell in love with the characters over again. And the show is directed by the same director of those movies, which I thought were some really well done movies. I was really excited for the show to see what was to come, but there was some controversy. Pennywise apparently wasn't going to show up until much later in the show than we would have liked. There was some rumors around some plot points in the show that just sound blatantly stupid, but I watched the season premiere, and everybody is saying it was one heck of a season premiere. For me, I was disappointed by it. And not to say that there wasn't great moments in it. The opening sequence was really good. Really, really good way to set the tone where it's just this creepy car ride, some creepy imagery, and then the title card pops up, which I thought was just a really great title card. No, my problem is the whole middle of the show after that was just not interesting enough to me. And then we get the final scene, which is like, okay, that could show potential. But I feel like this is the kind of show where people quite literally need to put out another episode. We quite literally need to see episode 2 immediately for me to get a full grasp on the show, because the way episode 1 ended, I'm like, okay, well, it finally got interesting, and it just completely stripped it away, and now I have to wait 7 days, well, 5 days, because apparently they're putting it out on Friday, but I kind of want the next episode now. Shows like Alien Earth, where they had a risky season opener, and then episode 2 finally caught my attention and drew me in. I kind of wanted an episode 2 to catch my attention, draw me in throughout the problems I had here. So the imagery and gore in this episode was really good, went balls to the walls. That finale sequence, the more I think about it, the more I think it's crazy. It's cool. I really like what we did there. Now, I don't exactly know where we're going to go the rest of the season, but I'm kind of here for it. I have my theories. I think it's going to be a little bit of grief-driven. We'll see what they do, but I really like that, and I think the direction that they could go could be really cool. And it's the episode that made me sit back and say, I think that when the next episodes come out, I am going to get fully hooked. But it's finally time to quit dancing around the edges. The reason I wasn't fully hooked here is because the whole middle of the show just didn't work. Like, at all for me. It was kind of trying to replicate the Losers Club with significantly less interesting characters, and characters I blatantly thought were annoying. I did not vibe with these characters. I did not vibe with their relationship. I didn't even think the performances were that good. No disrespect to the kid actors, I just didn't vibe with the performances, and I thought it kind of came off a little stale. So we're following it, and it's quite literally going over the same exact plot points that we get in It. You have the Jewish kid who's going through the Jewish stuff. His parents don't believe all these crazy things. You got the girl and the kid that has a connection to the kid that went missing in the beginning. And there seems to be a little bit of a romance cooking there. And the girl is considered an outcast and a really weird, creepy girl. Same plot points. Same exact plot points. You have a character who talks exactly like Richie from It Chapter 1. Same plot points. It's going the same exact direction as it went in the movies. And so I'm thinking, no way. No shot that I'm going to watch the same show that was the exact same as the movies that's actually boring and doesn't have good characters. And the characters were just annoying, in my opinion. The way they talked, their interactions, I was annoyed. And I don't like saying I'm annoyed when I watch this show. Because I was annoyed and I was like, I don't want to watch this scene. Skip past this scene. It's really bad scene. And part of that is because of the writing in this episode also wasn't that strong. because it quite literally has scenes where characters are going on full monologues. Well, this kid disappeared because of this happened. Didn't you forget? Or quite literally, there's one scene where there's a conversation between two people, and the conversation starts by, so, something happened to your dad. What exactly happened to your dad? Very clearly, because, hey, that's how we're going to find out what happened to her dad. But it didn't feel natural. It was just like, I know what happened to your dad, but this audience doesn't, so I'm going to ask. And it just felt unnatural, and several sequences like that. The dialogue wasn't that good. There's a scene near the end of the episode where it was like, well, I guess it wasn't him talking through the sewer drain. And the character's like, you heard him talking through the sewer drain? Yeah, I heard him talking through the sewer drain. If he said something a little more natural, they would have never gotten the result that they did at the end of the episode. So the script and dialogue is really rough, and I just didn't vibe with the characters. Fortunately, and this is spoilers, there is spoilers in this video. I was kind of dancing around that for the majority of it, just in case my review hooked you for some reason. You want to go watch a show before finishing this review. 3, 2, 1, real spoilers here. They die. That's how the episode ends. It kills them. The giant mutant baby kills them. And that kind of got me hooked. Again, it was kind of like where I wanted to instantly click on the next episode. But it did a really interesting way. It really was interesting. I just wish I cared about the characters a little bit more for it to fully hit. Where I thought these characters were kind of annoying. And I was like, I'm okay with them dying. Because now I know I don't have to revisit the exact same movie as it, but with significantly less interesting characters. So I'm seeing people on Twitter saying it's one of the best season openers they've ever seen. So creepy. And I'm sitting back thinking, it's exactly the same. It's not all that interesting until the end. And so I'm pretty sure that the rest of the show might be able to hook me. I'm about at an 80% positivity rate that the rest of the show will hook me. Because it was very interesting, the ending, and a lot of shows I watched the first episode never really hooks me. But this is a review for the first episode, and I gotta be honest, I didn't have fun watching it. Oh, I haven't even touched on the army plotline. There's this army base at Derry, and there's this new drill sergeant there, and I kind of liked the stuff they did until 3 dudes wearing masks wake him up in the middle of the night, and there's this big fight scene in his dorm room, and they're, again, the script issues blatantly saying, hey, tell me all the details on this new plane that you got. I want to know everything. And it's like, you could just say you want the details. You don't have to say, I want to know the flight patterns, and I want to know the engine name, and I want to know the flight name. Literally was listing off that, because the script felt unnatural. And so, the episode overall wasn't very fun to watch, in my opinion, because it was just so frustrating with the characters and with the performances and with the script that I didn't find it very investing. But the ending of the episode kind of got me interested, and I'm very excited to see what they do rest of the season. So thank you guys for clicking on this review. No final score here because it is just the first episode. Stay tuned. I'm most likely going to be doing a review series for this season as it goes along. So thank you guys for clicking on this video, and with that said, subscribe.